Alright, right here is an example of how to complete the squared. So we have an example: x squared plus 4x plus 1 equals 0. Set 1 can be skipped in this sample since the coefficient of x squared is 1. Move the number term to the right side of the equation, so we subtracted 1 from both sides. So in that step, minus 1 on both sides. Alright, and then the next step is you're going to take the b term, divide it by 2, then square it and add it to both sides. But notice we took the b term, took the 4, divided by 2, and then we squared it, and you end up getting 4 divided by 2 is 2 squared, which is 4. 4 squared is 4, so we have to add it to both sides, get 3. So if we factor x squared plus 4x plus 4, we get x plus 2 and x plus 2, which is x plus 2 squared equals 3. So the opposite of squared, square root. Square root of 3 plus or minus square root of 3. So we minus 2 from both sides, and that's the decimal version, and that's the radical version. Minus 2 from both sides. So we have 1.73 minus 2 and a negative 1.73 minus 2, and that gives me negative 3.73 or negative 0.27. So in our example right here, we have a 1 as the coefficient. So right here we're going to subtract 6 from both sides and get x squared plus 5x blank equals negative 6. Right here we're going to half 5 and then square it, so we get 2.5 squared. 6.25.
What's up, Coach?
We get x squared plus 5x plus 6.25 equals negative 6 plus 6.25. It gives me 0.25. Alright, and we factor that out. And we get, factor that, x plus 2.5 squared equals 0.25. Take the square root. Get plus or minus the square root of 0.25. So square root of 0.25 equals 1/2. So we got positive 1/2. So positive 0.5, negative 0.5. So we set up two equations. X plus 2.5 equals 0.5. And x plus 2.5 equals negative 0.5. You got a positive and negative answer, so minus 2.5 minus 2.5. That gives me x equals negative 2. Minus 2.5 minus 2.5, x equals negative 3. So those are our intercepts. Alright, on this example, I'm going to subtract 1 from both sides. Get rid of that value. You got x squared plus 2x plus blank equals negative 1. So now I'm going to divide 2 by 2 and then square it, and that's going to give me 1 and then plus 1, which gives me 0 equals x squared plus 2x plus 1, and I'm going to get x plus 1 squared equals 0. Square root of 0 is just 0. X plus 1, subtract 1, x equals negative 1. Next example, add 10 to both sides. You get x squared plus 3x plus blank equals 10. 3 divided by 2 squared equals 2.25. Alright, so I can add that to this side too, which gives me x squared plus 3x plus 2.25 equals 12.25. Alright, and so that's going to be x plus 1.5 squared when I factor it out. Alright, equals 12.25. Take the square root. Gives me 3.5. Positive plus or minus 3.5, so we have two equations. We got x plus 1.5 equals 3.5. X plus 1.5 equals negative 3.5. Minus 1.5 minus 1.5. That's going to give me 2. X equals 2. Minus 1.5. It's going to give me negative 5. Okay, on the next one, to complete this square on this one, we have to divide it by the leading coefficient. That ends up giving me x squared plus 5 over 2x plus 3 over 2. Subtract 3 over 2 from both sides. End up getting x squared plus 5 over 2 plus the blank 3 over 2. Now take 5 over 2, divide it by 2, and square it. Gives me 25 over 16 plus 25 over 16 gives me 1 over 16 x squared plus 5 over 2x plus 25 over 16 equals 1 over 16. Factor that out. It's always going to be what you multiplied to get it. So 5 over 4, so we got x plus 5 over 4 squared equals 1/16. Take the square root. The root gives me plus or minus 1/4. So I have two equations. I have x plus 5 over 4 equals 1/4. X plus 5 over 4 equals negative 1/4. Subtract 5 over 4. gives me a -1. Alright. And then subtract 5/4 from -1/4. And it gives me +1.5 or 3/2.